107.5 WBLS, your number one source for R&B.
Trust.
Thank you.
And
There
believe
you go.
a
Yes.
good time is about to be had.
Come on with the come on.
Yes. Sheryl Lee Ralph is in the building, everybody.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So before we get started, we do have to do 60 seconds with Shayla.
60 seconds with Shayla. Come
That's
on.
right. So you got 60 seconds to answer these questions. Fun stuff.
Okay.
Okay? Can we start the clock?
Come on.
Childhood nickname.
I never had one. Oh, well,
Oh.
that's not true.
Okay.
But it is so, it's bad memory. And they used to call me Ugmo.
No.
Yes, because I was so funny looking. Lips were so big. And you know, at that time, it was like, can you pass the paper bag test and all of that? And they were just like,
Wait.
oh, she's such an ugly girl, but she has a great
No.
personality. And then I grew up.
And we only have 60 seconds.
Ah, thank you. Come on. Carry on. Carry on.
First job you ever had.
Oh, my first job was in a T-shirt shop on the campus of off-campus Rutgers University. That was it, which has really, I love doing T-shirts. That's my side hustle, you know.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I love designing T-shirts.
Favorite TV show? Got me talking about
Favorite TV
t-shirts.
show? Well, it would be anything that I'm in, from Ray Donovan to Mo Isha to Criminal Minds. So, yeah, those would be some of my answers, yes.
Song you love to sing in the shower.
Ain't no stopping us now.
Uh-oh.
We're
On the
moving up.
move. Ow.
Yeah. Hey.
We only got 60 seconds.
Okay, come on. I'll stop. Go ahead.
Best Jamaican dish.
Listener, I'm a vegetarian, but I remember when I used to name the curry goat. Lord have mercy, me love the memory of the curry goat. But then I love the cocoa bread and the patties. Oh my God, don't get me started. I love the fish too. And as soon as I get off the plane in Kingston, is Gloria I'm heading to, me dear, for the fried fish.
What?
Yes. Cola,
Okay.
champagne, ginger beer. Sorry, you only have 60 seconds.
60 seconds, Cheryl.
Yes.
Okay, what's still on your bucket list?
Still on my bucket list, any place in India, any place on the continent of Africa, any place in China. I just want to travel. I never have fears, but if I ever had a fear, it would be that I will lay and take my last breath and say, doggone, I didn't see Kathmandu.
Oh.
Or wherever,
Yeah,
you know?
right.
Yeah.
What should every woman try at least once in her life?
To really take care of her blessed self, to really love her blessed self, to really take the time to stand in her own power, put her feet in the sand and draw her bottom line and make some choices, what she will and will not do, what she will and will not tolerate, what is acceptable, what is unacceptable, and move forward in that power.
Favorite love song?
Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby.
All your songs have ain't.
Ain't nothing like the real thing.
Dinner with anyone, living or dead. Who would it be?
Sojourner Truth.
Why?
I'd really want to know, what did it take for that woman to walk behind the trails of the white women at the time who had the horse and the carriage, and she had none, and she walked behind them and had to stand up and say at some point, ain't I a woman?
That's right.
Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Who's going to be there to help me? I would really like to know, what was that like? And she had children, and her children amounted to nothing, and I would like to know what she felt like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Favorite Broadway play?
Oh, it'd have to be anything that I'm in. Had you asked me about 35 years ago, I'd have said Dreamgirls.
Favorite Broadway play that Sheryl Lee Ralph wasn't in?
Well, it would have had to been September 29th, the day before I wasn't in Wicked. Right. So, and now it's like really my favorite. I really love Wicked.
Yes.
So that's where I am.
I have the pleasure of sitting with my Capricorn and sorority sister, Sheryl Lee Ralph, coming to see me to talk. First, let's talk about Dreamgirls. I have to, because I feel like I missed something that was so very special. And so many people, every time I start talking about Dreamgirls, because we're talking about it recently because of Jennifer Holliday being in The Color Purple. And a lot of people had a lot of memories about Jennifer in Dreamgirls, and now she's coming to Color Purple, and she's actually
in
it.
Now, yes.
And here you come.
Right.
Then I found out about you being in Wicked, and I'm like, wow. You know, it's amazing how many years have passed and still
35 to be exact.
35.
December 20th, 1981 was when Dreamgirls made its Broadway opening. And that was 35 years ago, which is amazing since I'm only 36 myself.
I know. I was wondering,
you weren't supposed to laugh that loud. I heard you all the way over here. Lord have mercy.
How was she singing those songs? Like, how did she say those words at just 1 year old?
You know what's... I thank you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out.
I was a creative little embryo. Yes, I was. But, you know, it's amazing when I think back on that. We really worked very, very hard trying to create a legacy, trying to create a memory that has still lasted. When I run that down on comments on my Twitter or my Instagram, and I see young women now who may be, 35 or 40, and they talk about when they came to the theater,
I get it all the time.
What they felt like when they saw three obviously black girls up there, and how it still makes them feel to this day, and what it means for them to share that memory with their daughters. And that's really what I was trying to help make happen.
When you were doing it, did
Absolutely.
you
I believe
feel
in legacy.
did you feel like
Absolutely.
you were doing something that was going to be epic?
Because I was mentored. I was mentored by a bunch of actresses before me, Rosalind Cash, incredible
from Sisters.
actress.
Yeah.
Okay, Virginia Capers, Tony nominee in a musical called Raisin. She played Diana Ross's mother in Lady Sings the Blues. She had, incredible aspirations. I mean, I could go on. Beverly Todd, Judy Pace, and when Judy Pace, because Judy Pace was always beautifully black, with that black, thick hair of hers. And Beverly Todd, beautifully black chocolate sister. And when they saw that Dreamgirls was happening, they said, honey, you have a responsibility here. And, I am forever grateful for having mentors letting me know that if you're on this road and you're going to build it, you got to build it well, because somebody will come behind you, and it doesn't matter if they don't know that you weren't there.
Right.
Just make sure they have a good foundation.
Right.
I'll never forget stuff like that.
Wow.
Folks poured into me, and so I try to carry on the best I can.
Yes, and here we are
at 36.
35 years later, at 36 years old, and you are still carrying the torch, and you are still you're the first African-American woman
on Broadway
to play this role.
Madame Morrible in Wicked.
Yes.
Which is quite an amazing show, because I tell anybody that's ever felt like the green girl, if you've ever felt like the odd girl out, if you have ever been the only one in the crowd, if people have pointed fingers, looked at you and said, ugh, look at that. Who does she think she is?
Right.
This show is all about really defining who you are and defying gravity. When that green girl says to everybody who's tried to hold me down, I'm telling you, you better look towards the western sky, because I'm defying gravity. And she rises to the level of her own power. And I just love everything about that. So for me, green girl magic matters. Green girls matter.
Right. Now, tell us about Wicked for those who don't know about the play, who don't know the premise.
This musical has been on Broadway for 13 years. Yeah. And I dare say it's probably never going to close. It's a wonderful show about a girl who's green. She's born into a world of other colors and where animals can speak, and she's green. And everybody looks at her like, what is wrong with you? You are green. They make jokes about her. They call her the artichoke. And when she gets angry, they say things like, well, the artichoke is steamed.
Right.
It's that sort of all of us in this room and know exactly what that's about.
Oh, yeah.
We
We've had
know
our
what that
green
feels
moments.
like.
Yeah.
Those green moments.
Right.
And somebody loves her. The perfect guy falls in love with her. And she says, I know it's hard for you to imagine that he could love someone like me, but he does, and it's real. And it's very, very real, so it gives everybody hope because you can find love, you can defy gravity. You just have to absolutely believe in the miracle and the magic of yourself. I mean, I say to people all the time, I don't care where you are in life. I don't care how bad your life is. Your life can be changed the instant you decide to change it. Right. It is not anybody else who is going to do it for you. Nobody else. It is what is going on between those two ears, what you think and what you feel, because you can change it like that.
Right. Now, what was your moment? Take us back to that moment, because you talked about the brown paper bag. So there was some point where you had to stop listening to those people and you had your green moment.
It's all those things that I talked about in my book when I wrote it, Redefining Diva.
Uh-huh.
I had to look in the mirror and love what I saw. I had to really accept that that was who I was. That's what God gave me, and I had to work with it.
Right.
So I started developing all parts of myself to be what I thought was my best self. I would look at TV, I would pick out the most famous person, and I would start acting like the most famous person in my head. I would listen to Diane Carroll talk, and I said, I'm going to have the best speaking voice ever. And I just started emulating the best that I saw out there. Yeah. And that's that.
I tell the story of, remember the toilet tissue radios? I used to have the toilet tissue radio in the bathroom. And Ken Webb would be on every morning. And everything he would say, I would mimic.
Wow.
And I never knew that there would be a day that I would end up being on the same radio station as Ken Webb.
Okay. You want to know how profound that is? I was driving in from Philadelphia yesterday, and I like to listen to all kinds of music, and I don't like to just channel it. I want to hear what everybody's listening to. You just told a story about what you listened to and how it affected your life.
Right.
I heard a song on the radio that when the song was over, I felt dirty. I felt bad, and I had to cry for my own daughter and other people's daughters. Because the young man in the song was so hurt in the song that he talked about how hurt he was. And he said how he was going to hurt her. And after he was finished hurting her, he was going to stick it in her mouth. And it was so big, it was going to feel like a foot in her mouth. And she was going to cry, and she was going to feel how hurt. This is all the lyrics he's singing now. And I'm like, hold up. And this is on the radio. And young women are going to hear this and dance to it. Young women are going to hear this and think it's okay. They're going to think it's cute. And it was ugly, 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 because he was just telling her, I'm nothing. I know I'm nothing, and I'm going to make sure you're nothing
like
too.
Nothing, yeah.
And then you're going to be nothing, and you're going to think I'm going to stand there and do something nice for you. You think I'm going to say something nice to you, but I'm just going to watch you be nothing. And then I'm going to stick it in your mouth because you are so nasty. You are so down low, funky, because you a nasty girl. It's going to feel like a foot in your mouth. Wow. And that's okay? You're going to dance to that.
Yeah.
You're going to get in the club and get hyped to that. Something has gone wrong.
Right.
And it's getting worse because what will happen is, see, you saw something good and you aimed for it. Someone will think, well, that's okay.
That's right.
And that's love.
Right. Unfortunately.
That's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to stand right here and tell you that is not love. It is not okay. It is mental illness. And sometimes you need to get a checkup from the neck up. There is nothing wrong in getting yourself in some therapy if you know and feel that you are nothing. because Kanye is in the hospital.
Right.
Britney Spears was in the hospital. I don't know who sang that song, but I dare say he probably needs to get himself some therapy too. And some of y'all need to stop experimenting with these drugs because they're starting to add up in your system. And we know from the past, if they're as bad as your mother's and your grandmother's drugs, there's some pretty bad drugs. So you need to think about what you're doing to yourself.
Yeah. And you know what? You have your philanthropic work is just amazing. And I'm sure you have probably touched on mental illness as you have with AIDS.
Well, that's what we're doing with the Diva Foundation.
Tell us about...
Divinely inspired, victoriously alive, aware, awesome. If we were in church, we would be anointed.
Amen.
So, the Diva Foundation, it started all about HIV/AIDS awareness because I believe that people, especially young people and older people, if you can be green, if you can have a green footprint, know what it is you're doing to the earth and all of that, you need to have a sexual footprint. You need to know what you're doing to your body. You need to know what you're doing to yourself. You should, I've been saying from day one, young women need to carry condoms in their bag and make sure they use them. I don't care what kind of sex you're having, even oral sex, put that condom in your mouth and slip it on when you do what you do, especially if you're going to put a foot in your mouth. I mean, you got to be ready to take care of yourself. And December 1st is HIV/AIDS World AIDS Day. The Red Ribbon was created to really, really join us together in the fight against AIDS. And I want young people, young at heart people to know it's still happening. Those numbers are going down, thank God, but it doesn't have to happen. This World AIDS Day, we may be very close to a vaccine. A huge vaccine test has been launched in South Africa, and we may be very near to a vaccine. We've got PrEP and all of that now, but I'm really hoping that we see a new miracle developed against this.
Yes, and that is tomorrow.
World AIDS Day is tomorrow, baby.
That's right. So to find out more about the Diva Foundation, where do they go?
thedivafoundation.org. We're launching our new website. I had no idea it takes so long to get your websites revamped and up and all of that. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Developing content. Any young bloggers out there that are very, very positive and have a slant for health and awareness and all of that, hit me up. Hit me up on my Twitter. Let me know.
What's your Twitter?
My Twitter is Diva3482. No, my Twitter is the THE Sheryl with an S Ralph. The Sheryl Ralph.
Okay.
My Instagram is Diva3482.
Okay.
That's Diva in letters, Diva in numbers. Diva3482. And I also have a vlog, a video blog called Call Me Madam. # Call Me Madam at Broadway.com. Every Thursday, a new episode.
And your daughter, is she on it too? Because she is just absolutely stunning.
Thank you. You've got to follow my daughter, Ivy Coco 23. She has an incredible blog, great followers, and she's just got she's like a mini-me. Yeah, she's like a mini-me.
She is gorgeous.
Thank you.
All
and
right.
then there's always SherylLeeRalph.com.
Okay, there you go. And you can find out more or possibly get a job.
How about that?
Yes.
It might not pay you a whole lot. Trust and believe.
That's all right. It's the experience that's going to really count with
you gotta
this
get
diva.
Good experience.
Yeah.
There are a lot of young folks out there that they just need good experience. A lot of you all have to learn how to write. You have to learn good grammar and punctuation. It is important. It is necessary. Because if we don't have that, then they make fun of you. Then they say that you got all that education and you are not well educated because you can't even write. So it's like you got to do it. Just got to do it. It's important.
Yes. Okay. And also, you are only in Wicked for a limited time.
Yes, I'm only
so
in
people
Wicked
have to
until
get
April.
tickets. Okay.
They've got to get tickets.
Right.
And I always tell people, if I have a discount coupon, you have got to, and you really want one, you will find your way to the stage door and say, Miss Ralph left me a coupon. And if I have one, they'll give you one.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Let me write that down.
Oh,
'Cause I'll be making my
absolutely.
way to the stage door.
And you know what? It's amazing because I might put 5 down there, and then they'll just sit there, and then one day I'll come in, they'll all be gone.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
so
'cause
now you know
somebody
what to
said-
do, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Somebody said, I got to go. I got to see it. And one of the greatest things I get to experience after the show is when people come backstage, especially little kids. Because it's not like just a children's musical. It's
Right.
all age musical. But when kids come and they just look at me and they can't speak. This little boy last night, he just looked at me.
Right.
He just couldn't speak. And the innocence of children. Now, mind you, I'm the only black female as a principal. And this little boy, in his child's mind, when his mother said, who did she play? Now, as an adult, it's obvious who I played.
Right.
But in this child's mind, he said, she's the good witch.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, my God. In his mind, that's all he can see.
Right.
In his mind, I
Yeah.
was everything
Right.
for him. Now,
That was
everybody
good.
knows I'm
Right.
not some 20-year-old white girl in a tiara. But to him, I was
It's
the good witch.
There you go.
And I was like, God bless the
Yeah.
innocence of children.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just amazing.
just like to me, you're going to always be the consummate dream girl.
Aw,
and even
thank
when you
you.
walked in here today with this beautiful, is it a dress or a top?
It's
a
a
dress.
dress.
I just wanted to sing Dream
Oh,
Girls.
thank you.
Born to make you happy.
We'll make you happy.
I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
just a beautiful dress for a beautiful spirit.
Oh, thank you.
And every
thank
time we
you.
connect, it's a dream.
Aw,
So thank
that's
you,
very
Soror.
sweet of
Thank you, Capricorn sister.
Thank you. my
Happy
girl.
early birthday.
All of that, baby.
Yes.
All of that. All of that.
Who
I'm gonna
knows?
celebrate too. I'm going to celebrate for a month because we've got a crazy working schedule.
Yeah.
So I've got to work 2 shows on my birthday.
I
That-
might have to come to that then.
That could be fun.
That would be fabulous.
Yes, come to the birthday
I'll
show
come
on
to your
December
birthday
30th.
show. December 30th. You all come to her birthday show as well.
There
December
you
30th.
go.
Get your tickets.
And when I come out there, just clap your hands
Yes!
and say, yes, Steva, yes.
Yes, but before that, go and get that coupon.
You better go
yes.
get that coupon, baby.
At the
You
stage
better
door.
come to the show. You better find your way to the stage door, honey.
All right. I love you for stopping
Thank
by.
you. Thank you.
Anytime,
Good
just
to
know
be
that
here.
door is wide open for you, girl.
Thank you. I so appreciate
All
it.
right. It's 107.5 WBLS.